Hello, and welcome to the Animation Industry Podcast. I don't know why I'm whispering, but my name is Terry, and if you'd like to help me keep running this podcast, consider supporting me on Patreon. The link is in the description of this chat. This chat features Italian creative director and animator who's worked in pretty much every medium there is, 3D, 2D, hand-drawn, paint, stop motion, pastel, etc., etc., etc. Margherita Premuroso. In our chat, she shares how she started her own animation studio in Italy and then went on to become a creative director for Elastic, working on title sequences. She also shares what kind of lifestyle it takes to be a freelance animator in Italy and her experience producing short films. So without further ado, let's jump in. Hello, Margherita. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm fine, thanks. And you?
Great. I'm very interested to chat. I think your work is fantastic. I love watching it. And you are calling in from Italy in Milano,
Yeah,
which
from
is
Milano.
amazing.
Yeah,
So it's 6 hours difference, I think. So thanks for joining me. I'm wondering where, I don't know anything about animation in Italy or how you get into it. Where did your journey start for you? How did you become interested in animation as a career?
Hi, Terry, and thanks for having me. As first, I started around 20 years ago. I studied art in Milano, in a small town close Milano. And after art diploma, I attended the animation and illustration diploma in Milano, in a school called Institute European of Design.
Wow.
After, yeah.
How many students were in the class? How big is the program?
No, it's quite famous in Milan, but we were around 20 people
Oh,
for each
wow.
class. Yeah. It was illustration and animation, 2D animation.
Wow.
And yeah. And I started working around when I was 18. My first job was illustrator for cover for financial newspaper. It was my very first job, and it has been around 22 years ago because now I'm 40. And my real first job has been a concept artist in a studio for game. And I draw basically the whole environments, the character design for some games for PlayStation 2 and for Nintendo.
Right out of
And
school?
yeah, after the school, just
So
after a
I'm
couple of
curious,
months.
like in school in Canada, I went to Sheridan College and there's about 100 students, 125 per year, I think. And
Yeah.
the professors kind of set you up to work in TV because there's a large
Oh.
TV animation industry in Toronto. So when you were going to school in your program and there were 20 students, what were the professors kind of setting you up? Was it to get into video games or like what was the industry like
Yeah.
20 years ago there?
Generally animation and video game, they are not very popular in Italy. I mean, we have other kind of culture, maybe more for art, for tourism and other stuff. So
Yeah.
animation is not really it's really well known in Italy. But the school prepared us to work with some very small studio in Italy. At that time, there were in Italy maybe 15, 20 studio in all the Italy.
Wow.
So yeah. And now it's different. It's past 20 years, but at that time, how can I say, the talent student has been sent to the video game animation studio in Italy. So I had this chance when I was 20, and it has been a great experience for me because I'm a game player. I'm
Yeah.
still now I'm a game player. I really love play with video game also with my kids. Now also the video game I will tell you later because I worked in London also for video game. But I really will love a video game. For example, my favorite video game. Do you play video game?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
My favorite video game is Inside. Do you know Inside?
I don't think so. Inside?
Think it's amazing game for Nintendo and PlayStation 2. It's very also Greece.
Okay.
Yeah, I love this kind of Cuphead.
Yeah. Of course, I
Game is
know that one.
the game is very difficult. It's a very challenge to win all the levels, but yeah, I think a video game has a great chance to learn also animation and styles and look
Yeah.
new styles and new moods. Yeah,
S-
and that's why I joined to. I have been really excited to work in this studio in
Yeah.
Milan.
So
It's
you
a
graduate your
couple of
diploma,
years.
you
Yeah,
start
after
working in video games, and
yeah,
then, how did you journey from becoming the freelance creative director you are today? Because
I
you worked on
okay.
a lot of amazing things.
Yeah. And when I was working during the day, I worked for this studio for video game, but in the evening I study animation mentor, 3D animation.
Ah,
So yeah. So I specialized 20 years ago on 3D animation in Maya. And after this experience in Milano, I moved to France for a while, and I work as a 3D animator for Team 2. It was a big studio in France, in Valence, and I work for a TV series as a 3D animator. After that, I moved to London, and then I start a great journey for SPOV. It's a company based in London, and I worked as storyboard artist, completely different from 3D
yeah.
animation. I always I really love drawing, as you guess, and yeah, after 3D animation, I just put off. I stopped for a while, and I work as storyboard artist for Call of Duty. I
Wow.
made the cutscene for Call of Duty for this London company, and
Wait. How do you go from being a 3D animator to suddenly a storyboard artist working on such a big game?
yeah. I want to move to London as first. I sent some CV, and on my CV I put some drawing and some storyboard I made also all my artworks I made for the video game company in
Ah,
Milan, and they sent me an email, and I was very excited because it was my dream to move to London, but
yeah.
the main problem was I didn't talk in English.
Wow,
I
that's bold of
I still
you.
learning English, but yeah, I didn't talk in English, and I was so nervous, but I met amazing people there, people who helped me to understand, and they explained with hands, and they have been very patient for me.
Wait.
We,
How
sorry.
how did how did they communicate what they wanted in the story
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
didn't speak any of the language?
I know, no, but yeah, I talk just a bit in English,
Yeah.
but for example, for the cutscenes in for Call of Duty, they sent me an email with all the text and the story,
Yeah.
and I translate with Google Translate.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's incredible. But I learned a lot. First of all, English.
Yeah.
I improved not too much, but I improved my English, and yeah, it's I learned a lot of working as a storyboard artist for the direction. I learned After Effects. It's been a great school for me, SPOV, and I really love the work with these old. They were all guy. I remember at the end a woman came, but we were 13. If I yeah 13, and me of 13 English men and one Italian
Wow.
woman. Yeah, yeah. But yes, been an amazing opportunity.
Well,
In the
that's
meantime, I work also for Blue Zoo, another company quite famous in London, and I love my job. I love to work. So in the evening, I worked also for other companies like Electronic Arts, Play Fish for the. Do you remember Farm Village?
yeah, of course.
Yeah, I made the all assets.
Oh
To
my gosh. Wow.
yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
just everywhere, literally, all
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Have
It's
you
amazing.
have you found when you're working in video games that it has been male dominated and you're
My
often
husband.
male dominated, like only men working
No, no,
versus women?
no, 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 no.
Okay.
They are really kind and really, yeah, yeah, lovely people.
Okay, I was just curious because you said with
Are
when you
British
moved to
people.
London it was 13 men and you were the only woman. I was just wondering if when you're in video games it's often male dominated versus more women.
No, it's now it's changed everything. I see now I work with a lot of women, but maybe also the title was very masculine.
Hmm.
Call of Duty, yeah,
Yeah,
it's not.
yeah.
Yeah, it's also difficult to play.
That's
I
fair.
tried, but it's very difficult. Um, yeah, I haven't an answer, but I don't know to, but Call of Duty is a very masculine
Yeah.
title,
Yeah.
uh, but which should be women. But I
Right,
mean,
right.
there are women play Call of Duty, but
Yeah, of course.
yeah, the studio were just but at the end of the project a woman came, a friend of mine who worked with me also in Elastic. She's an incredible creative director, Hazel, and but the major artists were yeah, males,
Gotcha.
men.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So you moved to London, which was your dream. Uh,
yeah, it was my dream.
and why did you leave?
Yeah, I left because I left France. I left London because I moved back to Italy to marry.
Ah, I see, I see, I
Yeah,
see.
Italian man, and I married and. I married and I came back to Italy when I was 25, and I opened an animation studio, 3D animation studio with my husband.
Wow. So
Yeah.
he's an animator as well?
No, no, no. He was the CEO of the. He didn't work as a animator.
I
So we
see.
opened this studio. In the meantime, also I teach the ZBrush because I focused on 3D in the past. Now I don't. I hate 3D. I really love. I really love just drawing and 2D animation. No, no, it's interesting 3D, but
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
too
yeah.
for me.
I
And we opened the studio and we worked on a short film, on commercial, and we worked on a pilot for a TV series in 3D. And we had the two kids, but at the end we split up and they
ah,
closed it. But it's fine. I mean, it's a life.
it's life. Well, I'm sorry to hear, but it's life. I'm
No,
interested though. You were moving yourself physically to different locations where the
yeah.
studios were, and then you came back to Italy and you had to get work to come to you. You had to, you were working on commercials and stuff. How did you market yourself as a studio when you didn't have any history of work except for going to London and France and these video games you'd worked for. How did you start to bring work to you?
Yeah, because I didn't mention, I continued working as a freelance with the Italian agencies. And as I told you, there were not too many animation studio in Italy.
Yeah.
So we were just a few in Milan, especially. So when I get back to Italy, I had a lot of contacts. Also, my ex-husband had a lot of contacts, and we started making a short film. We had some awards. So the clients and the agency started to know us as a small 3D animation studio, and then we got jobs. Yeah. Italy is very small. It's not Canada or USA. I mean, everyone knows each other.
Right. I'm wondering, I have two big questions. One is, how did you come to work at Elastica or Elastic.tv? Because, there's so many people in Canada and the US and LA specifically that are trying so hard to become creative directors. They have years of experience. How did you end up as a creative director working on, some of the biggest title sequences that have come out of TV in the last couple of years? Game of Thrones, Last of Us.
Yeah. I want to say I'm very lucky as first. It started after my split up, and I was so depressed, and I had to start over, and because as you know, when you split up a relationship, especially when you work with your partner, it's really difficult to start again. And I looked for 1 month. I wanted not move, but started work for USA. And when I was to the school, my dream was to work for a company called Prologue. It's a very famous in it's still very famous in LA. And I love all the title Prologue did, and I loved, for example, I don't know if you know the title sequences, but for Sherlock Holmes, Robin Hood, American Horror Story.
Yeah.
Prologue, it was my dream, and I sent my portfolio and my stuff, and the CEO replied in a couple of hours. I was so excited and happy for this, and I started to work on Suburbicon title sequence as first, and after that on Feud. And Feud after
Were they
Feud.
hiring, or you said, hey, I'm looking for work, I'd like to work with you guys?
No, I sent my portfolio, and he asked me to work on some shots as for a test. And after this test, it worked really well. So I started working on some title sequences. And Feud also has been nominated for Emmy, maybe for an Emmy award, maybe 6 years ago. And I worked for Prologue for 2-3 years, and it has been a very it was been a great experience for me, because it was first time working for title sequences, and I loved to work on these projects. I will come to Elastic. And after 3 years in Prologue, Hazel, a friend of mine who works, as I told you, who works for Elastic. She's a great creative director. She called me to help her on Elastic, to a semi-permanent title. as a 2D animator and a 2D artist. And I started working for to work for Elastic as a simple concept artist, simple 2D artist. Yeah, I started my journey with Elastic, and 3-4 title sequences. I made the Velvet and other, I don't remember now other titles, but my biggest project with the Elastic has been Amend. It's a documentary made by Will Smith.
Okay.
It was the main, yeah, the financial, I don't know who's, but it's a really great documentary for the, it talks about the amendment. And I animated 11 minutes with the other 2D artists. And after this project, Elastic asked me to start a collaboration as a creative director.
Wow.
And yeah. And I work with Elastic from since maybe no, I started from 3 years ago, two years ago, working as a creative director. And yeah, I'm full-time. I full-time work for them, and I found a great studio, because it's more than a studio. It's kind of family. It's amazing. I met amazing people there,
Yeah.
and really, really kind people.
Have you
And
worked entirely from where you are now in Italy, or have you
yeah,
traveled? Oh, wow.
no, I visited them for a project, a secret project, and I moved. I visited 2-3 years ago, before the pandemic, for
Hmm.
the COVID. And so I met the
Yeah.
other artists, and the other creative directors. Yeah,
Nice.
I met them in person.
I'm
Yeah, and
wondering, you know, you were animating as a 2D animator on some of these title sequences, and then they said, hey, we like your stuff so much, we want to work in partnership as you, a creative director. What do you think made your work stand out for them to ask you that?
I think Amanda, it has been the more complex project I worked on. Maybe they trust me, and they so I managed this big project, I think, well. And
Yeah.
yeah. Also, I think I feel really versatile.
Versatile.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Versatile. Okay, versatile. And yeah, it's this feature, I think also it's also they saw my passion and my love for my job.
Yeah.
I really love my job, and maybe also, I don't know, I think it's this stuff
I,
moved.
Has the I'm curious about, you know, Italy as a whole, as the industry. Are there a lot of people like yourself living in Italy and working for companies around the world, in the States
Yeah.
specifically?
I know.
Uh,
I say something. I think after pandemia, everything changed.
yeah.
Yeah, not I think, the reality. Uh, Before, maybe it was a bit difficult. But I know some animator working remote. Now it's very fast and
Yeah.
very
I was
quick.
just wondering what it takes to have a career when you're in another country and working for the US. Like, what is your lifestyle like? Because there's time difference. You have
Yeah.
to really prove yourself because there's tons of people in the US who are all competing for the same job all the time. Like what does it take
But
lifestyle wise to maintain
no,
that?
no, yeah, it's true. It's true. Um, I mean, it's difficult to explain, but no, because it's also in Italian, it's difficult to think about it. When we talk about artist to the artist, well, let me say again. Maybe they saw I think I have a talent
Yeah,
for my
you
job.
obviously do.
I didn't want to say this one. Maybe they saw this, and yes, there are lots of 2D artists and 2D animator in USA, but that they found me, and I'm really happy for this.
Well,
And
what you explained to me before is you sent in your CV, your resume, your work, and you got hired. But were you applying to tons and tons of places, lots and lots of places, or all the time, and this is just what hired you, or were you very specific in who you were talking to?
sorry, say again your question.
So when you got hired by Prologue and Elastic, were you also applying to lots of other places, other
Yeah.
studios all the time?
Yeah, I applied with other studio, not too much, but
Okay,
the main studio in US,
got you.
and yeah, can I say my dream?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course. I want to hear it. What is your dream?
my dreams was Laika. Yeah, of course. I said
Interesting.
Laika, and also to Pixar. I'm
Yeah.
talking about 6 years ago,
Wow.
when Pixar, still great Pixar, but 10 years ago, all of the artists want to go to in the Pixar because they were just Pixar, Sony, and DreamWorks. And I remember every year I go to Annecy Festival, and they had resume, and how to say in English, not the resume, but
A pre
they to find more people to work with them.
Oh, like networking?
Yeah, networking.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
I remember the long queue in Annecy
All right.
to show your portfolio. Yeah, I applied. So I applied to Laika, I applied to Pixar. Yeah, the main studio in US,
Yeah,
and then with Elastic too, and Prologue. But I'm talking about six,
gotcha.
seven studio.
Yeah, yeah. I'm wondering also, you've done so many short films and you have tried so many variations of animation. You've worked with paint and pastel, stop
Yeah.
motion, rotoscoping, 3D, 2D. I'm probably missing some. How are you also able to create so many short films while working full time as well?
Yeah. You asked me before, but I didn't mention I wake up. I woke up at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wake up at five
And just
o'clock.
animate all day.
Yeah, I wake up. I have a breakfast, and I'm looking forward to start to work.
Wow.
Because,
Wow.
yes, I really love work to work. So after breakfast, I start from 5 to 7. Then I pick up my. Then I wake up my kids. And drop them up to the school, and
Yeah.
start again until 4 o'clock. Then I pick them up and until the dinner. Yeah, my day start at 5 and around 9-10 p.m. now. But before kids, no, yeah, when they were really young, I worked until midnight. Yeah,
Wow.
it was really
Because you
crazy.
love it so much, or because you were
Everything.
anxious and stressed about getting ahead or something, about learning?
No, no, because I'm a really full of energy person. maybe.
So when your friends and family talk about you, they go, "Oh, she's up till midnight every night animating."
Yeah, yeah. No, no. You know, when you work with a USA-based studio,
Yeah, yeah,
you have to be available.
of course, yeah.
For,
So
but yeah, for the calls. As you told me before, there are many people apply for Elastic for other, and uh, and also they are more available than me because they have the same
time zone.
yeah, time zone. But yeah, sometime yeah, uh, it's difficult to explain, but I'm trying to be more available
Yeah,
as possible to say also thank you to the studio to choose me. You know, it's
nice, nice.
yeah,
That's very
yeah.
nice. What is driving you to create your short films and to work in all these different medias?
Yeah. I made maybe 5 6 short film.
Which is a lot. Most people
Yeah,
do one or two in their life.
yeah. But I started 20 years ago. One. The first one it was as for the diploma for animation mentor,
Yeah.
as in 3D, and the other three in a 3D, and my last another one, mom. It has been a very it's great short film for me because I thought about this when I was pregnant,
Hmm.
and I animate after delivery my daughter, and it was for her,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, I did during the night or when she
You gave
was
birth
sleeping.
and you went immediately to animate.
Yeah, yeah, but and my latest short film I completed 1 year ago.
Wow.
It has been a great experience for me and also a great school because I use short film also to learn,
Yeah, of
especially
course.
the workflow, the new technique, the new way to be fast. Because I didn't tell you, I'm really, really fast working. That's why I can manage maybe sometime more project in a
Hmm.
month. I mean, I work for Elastic, as I told you, and I work full time for them. But also I have other clients on side, and I work for example, now I'm working for commercials,
Wow.
not for plastic,
So
with
full-time job, clients on the side,
yeah,
commercial, and a new short film.
yeah, and it shows me, yeah. I'm really, really fast to
Yeah, I
work.
can probably.
Also, and also, I didn't mention, but I want to mention because I love him. I work with the guy since 10 years
Yeah.
around. He's Lorenzo Varisco. I want to mention because he helps me. He works for me we work together every day.
Wow.
And he helps me on the all side projects. So that's why I can manage
He
everything because
he's a
he was
producer
also really
or
fast too.
oh, he's an animator. Yeah.
Yes, he's an animator and he's illustrator. He's very versatile also.
Nice.
We
Yeah.
we
So
grew up together. He's younger than me. He's 35, but we grew up together and we are very similar in some way. It's a really, really great artist.
yeah, it must be
Uh,
nice to have somebody so close that's also an animator that you
yeah.
can bounce off and get critiques and feedback and learn from, etc. Yeah. Do you want to
I
talk?
manage the clients. I manage the clients also, but
Uh,
maybe he doesn't like. But yeah, we are very similar in some way, and this is a great plus for me.
yeah.
And also, I have other freelancers who helps me, like Milena Tipaldo. Other, yeah. I have help me
A
um,
team?
Yeah, a small team. Yeah, contacts to which
So that's interesting to me because you are an independent freelancer,
yeah too.
but
Yeah.
you are also a type of studio. When you get a client project, you
Yeah.
hire people to help you out with the animation.
Yeah, I can't call me a studio because I'm not a studio.
Right,
I've no
right.
producer, I'm not the head of production. I've not just managed. It's myself with some freelancer. But
Okay.
I can't say I'm a studio. I don't want. I
Right.
also hate. I love drawing. I love animate, but I really hate manage people. Yeah, it's incredible. When I had the studio with my husband,
Yeah.
I hated manage people because it's a time wasting for me, and it keep
You're like, I could be animating right now.
yeah
I'm
yeah
so
yeah
fascinated. This is slowing me down. That's really interesting.
yeah
Yeah, also that you help hire other people to help you with your projects. Do you want to talk about your new short film that you're doing?
yeah. I just finished a short film 1 year ago. It has been in rotoscoping,
Yeah,
pencil
yeah.
paper, thousand and thousand of papers. But now I started on another project in with it's a collaboration with the Nana Lab. They are set makers
Okay.
based in Milan, and it's based on a novel written by a friend of mine. He's a
Huh.
psychologist. It's he talks this short film. It's it's not dark because I'm sometimes people know me as for my dark works. This is not dark. It's also for kids, and it's a sentence based on this psychologist written,
Huh.
and it's really interesting because it's a half stop motion and half 2D. Yeah,
Wow.
all the sets are in a
Yeah,
modeled.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah, they are, yeah, it's really small yeah sets, and the characters will be in 2D. So
huh.
I will animate, me and Lorenzo will animate the characters. Yeah, it's yeah, I think it will be really nice. But I've lot of stuff to think: job, kids, family, and
Yeah.
sports. I also love sports, so uh, I can. I'm working on this short film on my spare time.
Got you. Do you receive funding to make this, or
No,
is it self-funded?
lot of people ask me, why don't you ask because it's time consuming, ask founding. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to put a lot of stuff, lot of
Yeah,
text,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
lot of
You just want to
motivation.
make it. It's too much time wasting.
No, I prefer, what? I prefer working and earn money and pay other people who help me, for example, Lorenzo or Nana Lab, or otherwise I have to wait the states, the financial, the founding. The no,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
also I have to stop too much, stop the short film. No, I prefer working 12 hours by day, earn money, and pay the other people.
Wow.
Help. Yeah, yeah.
So you just said, you have work, you have other work, you have kids, you have sports. Why would you take on another short film project? What is your dream with this one?
Yeah, because I learned 3D,
Yeah.
and I loved it in the past. And now I'm 2D artist, and I love 2D animation. But I really love make puppets. I want to learn stop motion.
Yeah.
I want to learn new way, new stuff, new styles. And I think the short film, it's the right way to to learn.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So it's
I,
like an
I
investment
see
in
a lot
your
of tutorials because You
Yeah.
watch a tutorial, you watch Kevin Parry, you watch the blah blah blah. But also, I wanted to attend the Artman school, for example.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, but no, I said no. I have to learn in practice. Also, I had to fall down. I have to try, and yeah, I think this is a good way.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will become really good. Yeah,
I mean, I think that's great. It also sounds like it's an investment in your own skill set, for future work, even. And as a creative director, too, to have your own work, it sounds
yeah.
amazing. Wow. I don't even know what to ask you. You just sound like a crazy machine who pumps
Ah,
out animation.
no, no. Yeah,
What is,
yeah. I look crazy because I move from here to that, but I think the passion move everything.
yeah. Well, and
The
like,
of animation. I
I've
really,
been
really
following your work on Instagram for a while, and I absolutely love it. The passion is very clear. You're very, very talented. You're very enjoyable. Your animation is very enjoyable and fresh to watch as
thank
well.
you.
I'm wondering, what is the overall dream? You grew up in Italy, you attended school, you moved to London, you moved back. Now you work for the US, you're making your own short films, you are working on commercial things, you work with other artists. And you're also learning new techniques. What is the ultimate goal with animation if you could do anything that you want to achieve? Because it sounds like you're doing all the
I
things.
honestly, I because sometimes I say, okay, maybe it's better stop to work and find financial financing. Sorry, what's that in English?
Like
Financing,
financing, like financing.
financing,
Yeah,
and just made your stuff. You
yeah,
know.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I don't think it's good. It's important have a client, have limits,
Yeah,
have
of course.
colleagues, and otherwise you do just what you like, and it looks a dream, but it's not. I think the most important way to learn is also to have limits and uh, listen no from a client. I want to do this, I want to that. I think it grow up. Do you get do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it matures.
Yeah, so maybe wait, I don't know which is my dream, but I want to continue like this. It's fine. I
It
enjoy.
sounds like you just enjoy the process, and
Maybe I have a dream. I like once. Nobody asked me. That's why I'm quite embarrassed. Maybe I would love to direct a Love, Dead and Robots.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes, you should.
yeah, yeah, in 2D, yeah, not so much, because it's my
Yeah. Well, who knows?
skill.
Maybe in stop motion after you finish this next film.
Maybe yes.
I think you definitely should. I mean, I think your style
No,
calls for it,
but
and
no,
you already
stop
have some
motion.
darker films. So,
Yeah, maybe, but stop motion. I don't know. It fits very well for Love, Dead and Robots, but yeah, no, no. I have a dream.
yeah.
I have, because I never thought about this. I like to do a comic book.
Ah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It's now this is most practical, more. Yeah, I can
yeah.
do it. Yeah, in future, I like to make my own story and maybe a comic book, because I have never did.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe a comic book.
I think
But for
that's
the rest, it's fine
I think
to
that's
live my
fantastic.
life as is
I'll look out for a Love Death Robots directed by you and a comic book as well in the future.
maybe maybe it's easier the comic book.
Well, the comic
Let's,
book you can just do on your own time because it
On
sounds
my
like you have
spare.
lots of spare time.
Maybe after this short film, I will work on a
All
comic book.
That's a good goal. Well, Margherita, we've talked about your career, how you got into it, how you've been able to maintain working from Italy and make a career out of it with all these different clients from around the world. I'm wondering, are there any topics that we didn't talk about that you were interested to share?
Other topic, no. It's it's all no, it's fine.
Yeah. Well, I think it's incredible that
Everything. Yeah.
how you've produced so much, and you've been through quite a lot, it sounds like, as well. And you have 2 kids that you're managing too. Like, I have a dog, and when I have to take a break from animating to go give him a walk, I'm already like, oh, like this is a lot for me to manage.
Yeah, I haven't talked, unfortunately. But I know they are really, they make you busy. So.
Well, if there's nothing else that you are interested to share, then thank you so much for coming on the chat. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk with you.
Inviting me. It has been really exciting to talk with you.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the first time in my life I talk 1 hour in English. So
Wow.
I'm really happy. I will tell to my teacher on Wednesday.
Yeah, they can listen to this when it's posted. I think that's, thank you so much for also speaking with me in English. I know that you are learning English too, and I think this is fantastic. So thank you so much. And if you're listening and you want to reach out to or follow or check out her work, you can do so by checking out her website, which is margheritapremuroso.com.
It's perfect now.
It's perfect now. Oh, I pronounced that great. Or her Instagram, which is the same with an underscore in the middle. And I'll include those links in the description of this chat. And that's all for now. So thank you so much for listening. Okay, bye. The music for this podcast was composed by Willem Mendo and the graphics by Luhan Wang. I encourage you to look them up if you've enjoyed their work.